welcome to the inaugural SaintsCast, a weekly web show that will highlight the past weekend's athletic events by the St. Lawrence Saints. I'm Scott Kasson. Joining me today, Stephen DelGaudio. Also joining us in future episodes will be Jake Danforth and Francis Shields. Big weekend for Saints soccer, but first, let's take it to the gridiron.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. Saints looking to rebound after a Week 1 loss at Norwich on the road. Let's see how they did. Really, the Saints D gets a stop. James Holly Grisham back to return the punt, and look what he does here. Has a lot of blockers in front of him, makes the initial wave miss, and he's off to the races. One more person to beat the kicker, and then a nice block by a teammate springs him free. He gets to the end zone. Not the best play of the day, however, as we're going to see Mitch Gallagher toe tap his way on the sideline. An outstanding catch, but that's also to be outdone by linebacker Jason Lee as he blocks a field goal attempt. On this defensive play deep in the Norwich zone, Lee is going to cut in front of a receiver and take it back. He has to run all the way across the field. He'll get to the end zone, a late dive, but he's in. So an all-around great performance by the Saints. They win 42-28 over Norwich. Taking a look at men's and women's golf now. They're both at Williams College this week. We're going to take a look at last week's St. Lawrence Invitational at the beautiful Oliver D. Appleton Golf Course. Sophomore Ryan Flynn shot a 69 and finished in the top 10 on the field, but the women were not to be outdone as Claire O'Neill led them, finishing 5 over and coming in second in the tournament overall, with St. Lawrence coming in third. But they were not the only Saints on the course this week. Scott?
That's right. Both men's and women's cross-country teams came into the weekend ranked top 10 in the country, and they did not disappoint. Men's and women's teams both winning at the Saratoga Invitational. For the women, Megan Kellogg came away with the victory, with Lisa Groen placing third, and for the men, Thomas Caulfield was second and Joe Smith placing third. Cool thing about this race, if you're top 20 in the race, they give you a pie. We should go get some pie after the show. I'm pretty hungry.
I'm in, Scott. Let's go get some blueberry.
Yeah, let's do it. Now, onto the court, where St. Lawrence Volleyball was taking their tournament to play in New Jersey.
That's right, Scott. Saints traveling down south to Jersey, coming in with a 1-3 record on the year. Facing St. Joe's, Katie Cole had 39 assists, really playing well despite the team's struggles, alongside Mariah Dignan, who in a few minutes you will see make an outstanding diving play. Now, the Saints did finish the weekend 1-3 again, so they are 2-7 now, as they lost to SUNY Canton early in the year in a one-game playoff, as they look to right the ship and get back to where they were last year when they made the Liberty League playoffs.
Women's field hockey also in action this weekend as they took on Wells. They were able to beat Wells by a score of 4-1. Star of the day for the Saints was senior Kara Pelosi, as she scored 2 goals, bringing her season total up to 4. Saints are right now 2-2, so sitting at 500. So there's room to build as we move on deeper in the season. And now let's take it to the pitch for men's soccer. First game of last weekend's Lotto Classic brought together the St. Lawrence Saints and Rowan University. Christian Yaros here chips in the goal off the corner kick. Saints went on to win 3-0. Next day, day 2 of the Lotto Classic. Edward Gonzalez sent in a beautiful cross, looking for 6'5" Harry Copeland, and they're able to connect as he heads it in to win the Lotto Classic, beating Fredonia by a score of 4-0. Next weekend, they took on St. John Fisher, where they won 5-0. Ryan Grant scored 2 goals, and I was able to catch up with him after the game. Right. Teams won 4 straight games, all shutouts. What's going right now?
You know what? I think everyone's working hard. I think we are playing well. We're putting the ball in the back of the net. We started off a bit slow the first halves of the games. We've only scored 2 goals in the first half, but I think today, as you can see, we picked it up, and yeah, hope we can keep it going.
Getting the ball in the back of the net, like you mentioned. You have 5 goals already in the first 4 games.
Yeah.
How are you feeling right now? Does that ball look big out there? The net look big? You feeling good?
Net looks how it always looked. I'm just hungry. I'm hungry for goals, and I'm going to keep trying.
All right. Thank you very much, Ryan. Best of luck.
Final game last weekend against Geneseo. Down 1-0 late in the game. Jethro Data able to get a foot on it, sending it past the keeper, chipped into the net. Saints tied at 1. They went on to tie Geneseo 1-1. So far this season, they have 4 wins, 0 losses, and 1 tie.
Moving over to the women's soccer team, looking back at last week's North Country Classic at Sandy McAllister Field, we see Kaylee White score 3 goals against Marywood to make it a hat trick. You're going to see all 3 goals right here. She beats the keeper here. She's going to have 1 more. The Saints will go on to win the North Country Classic and continue their undefeated season. Now, picking it up this week, we're going to see the Saints at Wesleyan University as the Saints cross it into the box. Flicked on by Geyer, and that's Sam Rock trying to net the game winner in the 85th minute, and she does just that, giving the Saints a 2-1 lead. And the Saints also beat Western New England 4-1 to improve to 5-0 in the year, which is their best start since 1993. Scott, speaking of the soccer team, both athletes of the week last week came from the men's and women's team in Ryan Grant and Katie Staines. Now this week, Jason Lee from the football team garnered that award alongside
Megan Kellogg for her win and her pie at the Saratoga Invitational. That wraps up our show. I'm Scott Kasson, Steve DelGaudio. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you right back here next week. Let's go get some pie.
I'm with you.